There it is.
My.
All right. We're actually going to start talking about the things we said we were going to talk about today.
Hmm.
Welcome, everybody, to November's WellFit webinar. We're going to be talking about remaining healthy through the holidays. My name is Zach Lauderwasser. I'm the wellness coordinator here for Humana Health and Fitness Centers. And with me, I have Micah Goins and Randi Norris. And I'll let them talk a bit about themselves in a second. Couple housekeeping items before we get started here. Please keep your lines muted, which I think I've actually disabled the functionality this time for you all to unmute. So you're stuck here. But yes, we are recording this. So unless you want your voice to be broadcast to the thousands of people who obviously watch this thing after we record it, please stay muted the whole time. In saying that, we are recording the podcast. So if you miss part of it, if you come in late, if you leave early, we do send out the recording in the follow up email to everyone who attended today. If you are here for Personify points or interested in receiving them, I will be posting the survey link towards the end of the conversation today around 2:30. If you fill out the survey on the thank you page after you hit submit, you'll see the Personify code. So if you're hoping to grab that today, that is your way to get that. If not today, you don't mind waiting for the follow up email. I do always send out the Personify code. Again, in the follow up email that we send out to everyone who attended today. So those are the options for the code. Other than that, let's go ahead and jump in. So, as I said before, I have with me Randi Norris. I'll turn it over to her. Who are you, Randi? And then do we have any fun things coming up?
Yes, we do. I'm Randi Norris. I'm the marketing and communications manager here. So, I'm telling you guys all about what we have coming up. Um, like Zach said, there will be a recording of this. So, this will also go up on our SharePoint site. So, you can find it on go/fitness at Humana. um, under our interact with us. So all of our WellFit webinars are posted. You can find previous ones as well. So if you lose the email, you can always go back to our SharePoint site. Um, we do have an event coming up in December. I know this is early to let you guys know, but we want to put it in your head. So mark your calendar for December 16th. If you're in Louisville, Kentucky, we are doing our farewell party actually for Well at Humana at the Tower. So December 16th, come out. We'll have classes. We're also going to do some giveaways for members. There'll also be giveaways for everyone that's there. And then we'll just stay, hang out, have like a post workout social. So if you're in Louisville, Kentucky, mark your calendars for December 16th.
Nice. Even if you're not in Louisville, if you want to fly in from
Yeah.
Green Bay or Miramar or
Why not?
or wherever else we're located here. We're not going to pay for your plane ticket though, so you got to figure that out.
All
All
right.
right. Next we have Micah Goins. Micah, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello, everyone. So my name is Micah Goins. I'm a performance coach at Well at Humana. I'm in Louisville, Kentucky. I've been worked here for about 6 years or so. I have a Bachelor of Science in Exercise Science, and then I also have, which not pertinent to this, but it's my humble brag that I have a Bachelor of Arts in Spanish as well. So today we're going to talk about some healthy holiday tips, and hopefully we can get you through the holidays without losing your mind.
Yeah, and then we're actually going to re-record in Spanish after this is over.
Yeah. So,
No, I'm
or
kidding. We're not going to do that.
honestly, if you're in the Puerto Rico office or anywhere else, you want to hear a bilingual podcast, just put it in the chat and then I'll do it.
Yeah, she's fluent. I've heard her rattle it off before. I'm like, dang, she's really got it like that, folks.
I am fluent.
Cool. So, Micah, what's your favorite food?
Just like food in general.
Food in general.
Oh, jambalaya.
What's your favorite
Ooh.
movie?
Ooh, movie.
Mhm.
Oh, brother, where art thou?
Oh, okay. What do you do? What's the first thing you do when you get home from work?
I get in the shower.
Shower right after work?
Yeah, especially, I mean, obviously if I worked out, but sometimes I want to wash the day off.
Okay. Do you watch sports?
Yes.
What do you watch?
Um, NBA, NFL, college basketball, college football. That's about all my sports I watch.
Do you have any pets?
I do not.
Are you getting married?
I am.
Oh, wow. What a fun fact there. Here, I was just shooting questions. I had no clue.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I knew that. All right. Well, that's Micah, everybody. Okay. Now we're actually, I know I said it before, but we're actually going to start talking about the thing that we came here today to talk about healthy through the holidays. Um, So this is going to be multifaceted. I think, as Micah and I were discussing this topic the other day, I think we kind of settled on a couple things. One being like the things we should do, but also the problems that we typically fall into around the holidays, whether it be with diet or exercise, which I think might be a good place to start. And if anyone knows their common pitfalls in the holidays, feel free to put them in the chat as well. Randy's going to be monitoring chat. We have any good questions or things that need answering, we might be able to answer those on the fly there. But Micah, what do you feel are some of the most common problems people run into when it comes to their routines around the holidays?
I think not having a plan for when your routine changes just because life is going to happen. Like your routines are not always sound, right? It's especially around the holidays because kids are out of school, you're on PTO, you have more free time. So, especially when your routine revolves around other things or other people and that changes, then that makes it a little bit more difficult to just stick to it. So, like if your routine is, oh, I take the kids to the bus stop, and then as soon as I take them out to the bus stop, I take my 30-minute walk. Well, now school's not in, so you don't have to wake up early so that you can take them to the bus stop. Then you're also not getting your walk in because your routine has changed. So a good way to combat that, right, is think about this is the barrier. How can I come over that? So I know kids aren't in school, but what can I do during the day now that things are changing so that I can still get my workout in or my walk in or whatever that is?
Yeah. 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 I think it is all the like little micro changes that happen. I think it's like everyone knows when Thanksgiving is going to be,
Yeah.
and everyone knows when Christmas is going to be. And they usually know about when their big family gatherings are around those things. But I do feel like it's all the little things in between that derail people. Like, oh, Mary from accounting decided she wants to do Friendsgiving this year. So now on a Thursday night, when I typically do my workout, I'm now consuming 2,000 calories, you know?
Yeah.
Or it's the kids getting out of school, or whatever else the holidays bring. So, what do you think? How do you think people should approach that problem of like just change around the holidays?
Yeah, I mean, kind of like you just said, you know when Thanksgiving is every year, you know when Christmas is. And if you're like, if you have a routine, for example, my mom, like growing up, she always took off those 2 weeks that we were off of school. She was also off of work, and that was something she was able to do. So at that point, it was like, you know, when you're off, you know, when your Thanksgiving get togethers are, things like that. So you can plan around them and say, maybe Thanksgiving Day, maybe that Friendsgiving are rest days for you, but make a plan for yourself, make a schedule for yourself. I always say that's like humaniculture is if it's not on a calendar, it doesn't get things done. And just because you're not looking at your work calendar doesn't mean that you can't, write it on a sticky note or something or send yourself a reminder if it's not something that's still structured. So then that way you're still able to get in what you need to get in and you're not just, oh, well, oh, it's the holidays, so I'm just going to not move off the couch for 2 or 3 weeks. And that way you're able to combat what the barrier is because you've identified it. And so now you can overcome that.
Yeah, yeah, good tips. Do you think people should just completely abandon a current plan? Do you think they should just make their plan more flexible? Like, what if someone you have like a runner or someone who's like a gym rat, they're like one of those people who like to get to the gym every day. Do you think they need to completely just jump ship on that plan and devise a new plan, or do you think they need to be flexible or somehow, or what's your stance there?
Yeah, I think in any facet with any routine, be open to change because we don't expect perfection from a lot of things in our lives. So think about whenever you're on holiday break, if stuff needs to change, like if you're going out of town and you don't have your gym available to you, what can you do, right? Maybe you do push-ups, you do squats, anything like that. Just increase the reps that way. So be more flexible with your routine, or if you know what your routine is, think about how can I modify that with what I have available, right? It may be I don't have, my gym, but I have the hotel gym, and the hotel gym has dumbbells and kettlebells, and that's good enough for me to do something, which is always going to be better than nothing essentially. So be flexible in your routine, and then whenever you get back to what's normal for you, you can always go back to what you were doing before.
Yes. Yeah. I think a lot of people tend to get derailed and then getting back on the horse can be an issue. In saying that, how do you think someone should go about getting back to their habit after they've kind of been knocked off a little bit? Because I think another common pitfall is people tend to have Thanksgiving and then they take the next day off, and then maybe the next day off, and then they're
Mhm.
eating leftovers, and then it's a week since they've done anything. What are some tips for people to maintain that momentum, um, rather than just letting it completely derail them?
Yeah. I think it's okay to obviously like let some things go to the wayside. Like if you're eating a lot on your holiday or whatever, but everything doesn't have to go away, right? Like your routine doesn't have to be completely thrown out of the window. If you know, like, oh, I normally wake up at this time, but I'm not doing that this time. Well, that doesn't mean that you still can't eat breakfast. Like, I think we were talking about earlier, like, what's your favorite Thanksgiving food? Like, what do you eat for breakfast on Thanksgiving? Nothing. We starve until the end of the day.
Hmm.
So, like, maybe you normally eat breakfast, just not on Thanksgiving. Well, keep that same routine. Eat breakfast that day. It's not gonna hurt you. Honestly, it may help you at the end of the day. So, just keep some portion of your routine, whether it's eating breakfast, drinking water, taking your walk in the morning, and then if it's okay if, like, at the end of the day, like I said, you have 2 or 3 helpings of mashed potatoes. That's not gonna ruin you for one day, and you still kept some sort of continuity with your schedule, with yourself.
Yeah, I actually love that tip of continue to eat breakfast and lunch. I think I have clients too who they say, every Sunday my partner wants to go out to the bar to watch sports or, whatever it might be. And I end up getting like 5 beers and a big old thing of queso or chicken wings. And so they're like, so I don't eat breakfast or lunch. But I think I think the problem comes in is like, well, you starved yourself all day. So what are you going to do when you get to the restaurant? You are going to order the basket of chips and queso and then the burger, and then you're going to have the 6 beers because you're starving. And I think same thing on Thanksgiving, where it's like, really, if you eat breakfast and lunch, you'll probably make better decisions come turkey time because you're not so hungry.
Yeah. I think also something else that a lot of people do, they plan to make bad decisions, which, like, I get it. Like, I totally get that. But think about maybe like scaling back. I don't know I don't know how best to say that, but like you plan, you're like, oh, I'm gonna eat so much. Well, do we have to plan to eat so much? Or can we just, still eat the things that we want? Because think about how those make you feel as well. Like I know when I eat too much food, even if the food, like, it was so good while I was eating it, 30 minutes later, I'm regretting it. I feel sick. I don't want I regret it. So I because I plan to make a poor decision, right? If I just plan to eat my food like normal, I always say Thanksgiving food actually isn't that unhealthy in
Mhm.
normal portion sizes. It's turkey. Sweet potatoes aren't terrible. We put things in them, but sweet potatoes are good for you. We already said broccoli casserole, green bean casserole. Like, we are putting things in it to make it poor, but it still has your core, like, protein and vegetables. So you can still make a good choice, good decisions on the day through the holidays, but you don't have to have, like, I guess, plan to make a bad decision.
Yeah, and what about since we're talking about planning? What about planning for leftovers? Because I feel like a lot of times people just let leftovers happen to them. They get done with
Mm.
the meal, and then mom's like, oh, won't you just take this with you? And then they're like, I wasn't planning to, but I will. And now I have 5 days worth of food and I wasn't going to eat that, but now I'm eating it, 5 days later. So
Yeah.
what do you think about that?
I think a lot of times like you said, leftovers get pushed on you, especially if the holiday meal was not at your house, whoever's house it was, they want to get rid of them because they don't want to either, right? So you're like, well, now I have it. I don't really want to eat off of this. So you can always donate your food to anybody that needs help. Of course, there's lots of places, especially if you have like leftover cans of things that can go to any Dare to Care. I'm sure there's any like shelters for the unhoused, things like that you can donate your food to. But also, if you are holding on to that food and you need something to do with it, you can try and make meal preps with it. And maybe that can help you get back into a routine or start a routine, right? So if it's like, oh, I had been meal prepping before Thanksgiving, I kind of fell off a little bit, but I have all these leftovers and I want to make sure they get eaten. But I also don't want to continue to overindulge and feel like I felt on Thanksgiving. So we make sure that we meal prep and maybe portion those out so that when you're actually eating, if you're still on break, you're not eating poorly, you're still getting in your macros and everything, but you're able to enjoy your leftovers. Like Chris just said, I'm not a huge fan of giving away my leftover turkey. I feel you. I feel you. So you don't have to give it away, but maybe make some good decisions for it, portion size that out into some meal prepping. And then once your leftovers are gone, you can continue to with your meal prep routine, which helps you get back into what you were doing before.
Yeah, I like those. I think my two biggest tips for leftovers, one is like don't be afraid to throw stuff away. I think people get so whether it's like societal pressure or guilt, they take it home and they're like, oh, it's food, I got it, it must be consumed.
Yeah.
um at the end of the day, it should come down to just as simple of a question of like, does this serve me or doesn't it? And maybe you're Chris and you really enjoy your leftovers, in which case it's like, okay, I need to build my plan around enjoying my leftovers like you just said. But for the people who are eating things just because it's in the fridge, I would say just throw it away. It's like, if you don't want it, you don't actually want it, and you're just eating it because it's there and it's not healthy. It's not the green beans, it's the mashed potatoes or the mac and cheese. And it's like, I don't really want this, but it's there. And
Yeah.
my mom made it, or, whatever the case might be, just chuck it.
Yeah, it becomes like a mental
It does.
stress thing, like having to deal with it. It's like you said, I didn't want to take it home, but my aunt said I gotta take it home, so then I did, so I didn't hurt her feelings. And
Yep.
now it's in my house, and now just because you didn't want to hurt your aunt's feeling, you got food that you got food that you didn't want in
Yeah. Yeah. You're sitting in your own house eating food you don't want to eat.
Yeah, don't
just
be
because
afraid.
of her.
Don't be afraid to hurt somebody's feelings and say, yeah, no, I'm not gonna eat this.
You're gonna start some drama at Thanksgiving, but it's okay because you won't overindulge.
Yes. Yeah.
If you don't want it, don't take it home.
Yeah, and if you do really like it, then that's fine too. Then eat it, enjoy it, have a different kind of plan.
I'm not gonna lie, I love my leftovers.
I do too.
Like,
Yeah, I love a good
I thoroughly love my
I
leftovers.
do too.
I only liked leftovers as an adult. When I was a kid, I was spoiled and I didn't have to eat leftovers. So now as an adult, I do. But as a kid, I never had to eat.
Oh, hot take. I think there's some foods that taste better after they've sat in the fridge for a day.
Give it like a
My mom always says that about chili.
Chili.
Chili's better the second
Yeah.
day.
Mhm.
I feel that way about lasagna. I think lasagna tastes better after sitting.
Yeah, I feel like a dense something dense is gonna be better.
Yeah, the flavors
because it's got
set
to
in.
soak in there. Yeah,
Yeah. Gotta give it some time to marinate.
My other tip for leftovers is I have like a 3-day rule where if it's in the, which this is probably just good for the sake of like food going bad, but if whatever's in the fridge after 3 days, throw that out. So um I think the most important thing is like find what works for you, and that's going to be different for everybody. So again, it's about assessing like, do I actually enjoy this? Do I not? Does it align with my goals? Is it worth, then there comes the question of like, is it worth the calories I'm consuming? For some people, the answer is yes. For some people, the answer is no.
Mm.
But yeah, I think, and then back to getting derailed. I forgot to mention this, but I wanted to. I think it's also important. The biggest thing is like, try to think through all the things and all the changes that will come up. Not all of them will be foreseeable. Some, you might have the random friend get together, but really try to think through the next 6 weeks, right? Because that's what you're trying to plan for, is the next 6 weeks. I think the people think about the holidays and they let it come and go, and it was just like this whirlwind. But try to think through the next 6 weeks, the events, the things, the life changes, like kids coming home, and create as many plan B's and C's as you can. So that way, these things, you're not just reacting in the moment. You find out day of, oh, I can't go to the gym that day. Because if you wait for that moment, what's more than likely going to happen is you're not going to do it.
Yeah.
Right. If you have just found out within 5 minutes, it's like, oh, I have to decide to go to the gym or not, and it's 12 degrees outside. It's odds are, unless you're extremely disciplined, like someone mentioned earlier, you're probably going to end up in the warm house and not in the gym. So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, plan B's, C's, and D's.
Stephanie asks, are there any alternatives for turkey or ham as a main dish for Thanksgiving?
I mean, I feel like turkey is, or do we mean like non meat or just not turkey and ham?
Stephanie, let us know if you're talking about non-meat.
I'd say,
or
I mean,
just
you can purchase
another
like
alternative.
whole chickens, of course. You can do a Cornish hen. You can do a turducken. That was on here before we started recording. So, but if you ever want a turducken, those are really good. But like I said, you can buy a whole chicken. They have them in a bag. I think, what's the brand? It's green. Jenny O. They make like lots of lean sources. Yeah, like duck,
Mm.
goose, they're really good. They a brisket is really good. But yeah, if you like, I understand too, because I've heard a lot of people recently say like I'm kind of I'm kind of tired of turkey. Like turkey, I feel like is a lot of people say that. So that is an option. If you don't know what a turducken is, also feel like that's a regional thing. I've said that and people don't know what that is.
Mm.
It's a turkey, a duck, and a chicken. And you can get it from the butcher and they put them all together in a roll and they stuff it with wild rice. And then you can put gravy on top. It's actually really good. And because turkey, duck, and chicken are all fowl, but they're also similar lean cuts of meat, they're actually pretty good. Duck is a little bit fatty, but turducken's very good.
I'm so glad that they can't see what we're doing to them. The birds
Well,
just taking a turkey, a duck, and no, then yeah, I know they could talking about the three birds you just mentioned, stuffing them inside,
Yeah, I mean,
and then with
listen,
rice.
thank God you're not here for this.
Yeah, that happened behind closed doors. Yeah, that sounds like an abomination, but I bet it's good.
No, it's
Uh,
very good, especially with gravy.
yeah, anything's better with gravy though.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's talk about stress a little bit. We talked briefly about managing stress yesterday and the different types that kind of come up around the holidays, but I'll let you speak on it a little bit here.
Yeah, I think stress comes in multiple forms, especially around the holidays. We're talking about not only just maybe there's stress dealing with your family in general. Maybe you have a stressful family, or that doesn't necessarily have to mean bad, right? It could be just like a more of like anxious kind of stress. Like everyone's coming in, like I'm going to see everyone. We have so much to talk about. We have so much to catch up with. And that's kind of that stress. Deborah, you literally just like almost took the words out of my mouth because getting your house ready, if you're hosting Thanksgiving, not only are you thinking about all the things I just said, but you're like, I have to clean the bathroom. I have to do this. I have to do that. I got to order this. I got to pay for that. Then, so that's financial stress as well as just normal stress. Linda said travel stress, which is a good one. Trying to get through the airport, especially now there's all these airports with delays and things like that. So you're thinking, what time do I need to get there? Because everyone's going to the airport right now. Then you have to think about, I need to get there earlier than I thought. Do I need to pack extra things? Do I need to do that? So all that stuff. I'm laughing because my there's a Candace in the chat. She said I'm so thankful that my daughter helps me
Mm.
clean. Candace is my mom, if you can't tell. But yeah, so just being able to like talk about the different kinds of stress, and a lot of these are things that you're aware that they're going to happen. Again, there's things we can't prepare for, right? But if you know, listen, I'm the one that cleans every year, or I'm the one that hosts every year, this is a stress that we can prepare for in some way, shape, or form. So, like, think about how you can prepare for that, right? And taking some sort of self care for yourself, whether that be like pampering, reading a book, maybe you set a timer for your tasks and plan them out. So, say like, okay, like for example, since my mom's in the chat now talking about cleaning, we would clean something and then it would be like, all right, that's clean. Don't go in there for 2 days. That don't use that bathroom. That bathroom is clean. Don't touch it. Right. So it could be something like that where you kind of space out your tasks like that. So that way it's not, oh, I got to do all this the day before. It's like, well, that upstairs bathroom, that's clean. Don't touch it. And oh, the basement bathroom, that's clean. Don't touch that. We're also going to make sure we make the bed in the guest room. That's done. We're not going to do that. Like it could be something like that where you space out your tasks. So then you have time for self-care. Like I said, reading a book. It could be pampering, taking a walk, listening to a podcast, anything like that.
Yeah, and like also just ask for help. I mean, I'm glad
Yeah.
your mom asks you, but I feel like a lot of people don't. You know, it's like they
Mhm.
don't. You know, maybe they don't want to burden the other person, or maybe they're scared the people who are helping are not gonna do it the way they want it. But if and you know maybe there are certain things where it's like I want to be the one doing this particular thing, and that's fine. But try to think through again, game plan in advance, the things that you know stress you out every year. Like, okay, this particular thing, the couple days before Thanksgiving, I hate doing this. I don't want to do it. Or maybe like a bunch of other stuff is going on. Do not be afraid to ask a partner, children, a parent, somebody, a friend, say, like, hey, do you mind just grabbing this from the store for me? Do you mind starting this before I get home? Just to take a little bit off your plate. Because again, you try to do everything and maybe you can pull it off every year, but then you end up not enjoying the holiday, which is
Right.
kind of what it's all about, right?
And that even kind of goes into your post holiday. Like, let's say you do everything by yourself and you are stressed, and then the whole day happens. You're so wiped out from that day that now you're like, I don't want to get into a routine. I don't want to eat breakfast. I don't care about drinking water. I just want to go to sleep. I just want to rest. And then that's going to prolong into the rest of your routine. And so now you're just too wiped out to even think about continuing into a routine, kind of like what we talked about at the beginning.
Well, you don't even get to enjoy all the work you did
Yeah.
if you stress yourself out to get the day done
Mm.
or to make the day happen for everyone else because you didn't ask for help or you didn't take care of yourself. So then you don't get to enjoy an experience that you've created
Mm.
for everyone else, which isn't necessarily the best feeling, I would say.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and I think it's important for everyone to enjoy the holidays. We talked about what the holidays mean to you, and I think for the people who are the caretakers, the people who are the facilitators, they miss out on that, and it ends up being a burden every year. And I think maybe they're willing to make that sacrifice for everyone else to enjoy, but would also encourage you. See, Stephanie, she said yes with four exclamation points. But yeah, try to and maybe it's also a battle of like really enjoying the things you enjoy. Like maybe it's Christmas movies after dinner, or maybe it's like eggnog. But don't miss out on those little things, and make sure you make time for yourself to enjoy those things, because a lot of years can go by very quickly without you doing those.
Yeah.
We're wrapping up here, so I am just going to go ahead and post the survey with the Personify code. So again, just put it in the chat. That's the link to our survey, and then once you hit submit, the Personify code will be on the thank you page. So you can grab that there. Mikah, is there anything else you want to talk about while we're here?
Yes. Can I plug the app?
Yeah,
Can I do that?
you can definitely.
I can plug the app.
Yeah.
Okay, so just shook the table. So something that we offer as contractors of Humana through Exos is the Exos app. So this is something that's free offering for you all. It's like I said, it's an app. It's called Exos app in the App Store. You'll download it. Make sure you sign up with your Humana email, and you'll get matched with a coach in the app. So that can be me, that can be Zach, that can be either Xavier or Maddie. That's Beth, Tracy, any of us in the app. And what that is when you're working with us one on one, we'll be able to work with you just like having a session, but we can also give you, I call it homework essentially, but that's just programs and practices. You can scan this QR code right here so you can download. There's also lots of on demand videos. So it talks about nutrition, there's sleep, there's walking audio recordings, there's exercise videos in there. So anything like that. So there's a few people in the chat that already have the app and they said they love it. So I know it's so great. I know you're gonna love it. But you can meet with your coaches often if you need. I have some people that I talk to every 6 weeks, but I have some people that I talk to every 2 weeks. So it really just depends on you. But like I said, it's a free resource for you all for Humana Associates. So please take advantage of it. Oh, I see Cliff in the app. Hi, Cliff. um, but yeah, so please download that app as a resource for you all because we are here for you.
Yep. Yeah. The biggest thing there is definitely the health coaching, especially around the holidays. If you need someone to kind of pull you back to reality or help you get back to your habit quicker, like we were talking about, knowing you have a consult with a coach in between Thanksgiving and Christmas can really help. So
I tell people a lot too, or I'll even show people. I share my screen and I like we can see everything, especially if you have your like fitness tracker linked up. So I can see like when you took a walk, I can see what classes you took on the app. I can see anything like that. So that's really beneficial as well.
And Viviana, I see your message. I can send you that QR code so you can share it around. Okay. Well, I'm going to stop recording now and I'm going to post the survey one more time in case anyone missed it. Again, there's the survey. Thank you all so much for joining us today. We will have one more WellFit webinar of the year, and that'll be in mid-December. Until then, take care of yourselves and enjoy your Thanksgiving.